Okay, everybody, let's take it from the top.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Hi-ho, everybody. Welcome back to D Plus Us Weekly. I'm one of your hosts, Griffin L. Griffey D-Pad. As always, is the wonderful, the amazing Mr. Mitch George. How you doing?
We are an audio podcast first, Griffin. You cannot crack by me being a goof on camera. I'm sorry.
Not only am I cracking, I'm cracking at something that nobody was ever going to see.
I'd see it if you used my recording, that to be honest. So at least, you know.
Okay, I'm going to need you to send me that.
B-roll if you want it.
It's like I'm just sitting here just dancing away to the music from their intro. No, what's up, folks? Welcome back to
Great
D+S
intro.
Weekly.
Like, what do you want? What do you want from me?
I love the intro. I made the intro, so...
All right, show rigmarole. Do it.
We are talking about National Treasure Edge of History, Episode 7, Point of No Return. We got a whole rigmarole here, folks, so let's jump right into it. Remember, folks, if you enjoyed the show, please go check us out on YouTube. Link in the description if you're listening to the podcast feeds. If you're on the YouTube, hey, you rock. Thank you. I mean, y'all on the podcast feeds rock too, but y'all on YouTube especially, you especially are awesome. Thank you for being there.
Shout out, too, to the TikToks, because the TikToks, people's is seeing the TikToks, and they're engaging with the TikToks, and that's appreciated. Mm-hmm. And Osmosis Jones got a sequel, and that sequel is Strange World.
Yeah, go watch our Strange World. I'll tell you what, we have officially made it on YouTube, because I've already had to start deleting comments on the Strange World episode.
Oh, no. You got to send me screenshots before you do that, because I got to see some of the vitriol people are putting on the internet.
No. Remember, folks, gay rights. Human rights.
Keep it nice in the comments, please.
I was gonna say, I don't think we put out any vibes except for like hang out, have a good time, don't be a dick. So
yeah, but people just look up Strange World, be like, oh, you like this movie that includes, representation. So
I was gonna say, I also definitely put a bunch of tags on that were like LGBTQ plus representation, gay, main gay character.
That's what it should be, because that's not central to that movie, but it is great that movie does that.
Yeah, it's still important. But yeah, folks,
we're not talking about Strange World again today.
I was gonna say, want to make another Strange World episode?
Go watch Strange World. Go watch our episode.
But
it's
yeah,
great.
Go check us out on YouTube. The YouTube has a bunch of fun stuff. We got our Strange World episode up. We've got these episodes going up there, and we even have a trailer reacts to the Mandalorian season 3 trailer. We've also got edited down versions and highlights of everything on TikTok right now. Also going up as YouTube Shorts. Video is off the chain right now. Do people still say that?
Should we have reacted to the Monday Night Football Ant-Man trailer? Yes.
College football.
Did we?
College football finals.
College football, whatever. Oh, sorry. Ant-Man got college football. Mando got Monday Night Football, right?
Yeah.
Would we have done that? Yes. Did Griffin forget we do those things and just watch it and I still haven't seen it? Yes.
Did I watch it because I was already watching football? Yes.
But that's all good because you can expect us to do an episode on Ant-Man and the Wasp when that drops. In about a month,
the next trailer
a month today actually is like we're a month out from Ant-Man. It's here.
Look, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. The next trailer we should be getting is probably going to be Secret Invasion.
100%.
So we will react to that.
Do we need another secret? Okay, we're not talking about this now. National Treasure.
National Treasure. I mean, it's going to be a great episode regardless. We're talking about National Treasure, yes. Episode 7. Remember, folks, this is full spoiler for the entire series, both the show and the 2 National Treasure movies. I'll hit y'all with that plot recap. We'll hit a very, very quick, did we enjoy this episode or not? And then we will go full spoilers. The plot synopsis for this one is Jess sacrifices everything to confront her dad's killer to find the last piece of the map. Mitch, did you enjoy this week's episode?
Yes, I did quite a lot, and I hate that it ended on a cliffhanger.
That cliffhanger was rude to a degree of I can't wait for next week. But no, I really enjoyed this episode. This show continues to be great. Everyone should go check it out. And go check it out and come right on back as we're going to start spoiling this now. It wasn't Salazar. Salazar was... Okay, so here's my theory. So obviously, and the person is her dad.
Yeah.
I think Billy's been Salazar the whole time. Either Billy's been Salazar the whole time and she knew he was there, or Salazar's long dead.
Yeah, I don't know, because, I mean, I thought it could still be Graybeard, who was still following the kids to Mexico, but I'm assuming that was just Billy keeping tabs on them with that guy. Yeah, I mean, It was a plot point that seems blatantly obvious in hindsight that, the dude in prison isn't actually the dude who's supposed to be in prison. Ultimately, it leads us on a treasure hunt for another thing, and
we're doing a prison break.
Yeah, that'll be great, but we haven't seen that yet. And this just became, we're going to steal from nuns.
Yeah,
and
except like,
while that's great, like the series is starting to feel a little samey.
It is, but also they had a fantastic moment, at least to me, in that heist. Like, music is coming around into this series a lot, and I really love that. Whether it's with Liam's character, with like the bar, and people like saw his Graceland stuff, or in the playing of the organ, how it all came back to her mom's lullaby, and the lullaby was actually like from his dad's hometown, and it actually is the song of the daughters of the Twisted Serpent.
Daughters of the Plumed
Serpent.
Serpent. I can't talk.
Like, I love how it all comes together with that in music specifically. But that moment when, like, they're getting caught by the nun and she's like, no, I've been waiting for this. Take it.
Not my problem anymore.
Like, it was the most, like, okay, good. Thank God I don't have to deal with this anymore. But also, it was such a sweet moment.
I kind of got that, like, I got a feeling that was the way it was going to go with the way that she reacted to the song in the courtyard before she came running with the flock of nuns, as Oren put it, which I thought was great.
See, I realized it when she made everyone else stay back.
Yeah, Oren had so many great moments this episode. Just shout out to Oren,
dude.
He had the go box ready to go with the cash and the burner phones.
That was the other best moment of this. Like, Oren has quickly become my favorite character in this show.
Absolutely.
He's a complete himbo, where he's a complete idiot, but
he's a dopey sneakerhead.
He has the biggest heart of anybody in this show.
I mean, also shout out to Ethan for traveling to Mexico. I still feel like there's something going on. Like I know this show is all about these weird, strange, convenient truths that just sort of, Ethan just showed up because he felt like he had to be there with his friends. And I would love to see them, subvert our expectations there. And there was actually something more to him arriving that abruptly in Mexico. Mm-hmm. I don't think it will.
Honestly,
but
I feel like it would almost be more refreshing if there wasn't.
If it was just very much, like, formulaic treasure hunt, friends find treasure and beat bad guy.
Well, not even that, but like have the twist be something other than him. Yeah. Because, like, this entire season, we have been suspicious as all hell of him. Like, we've literally been doing the thing of, like, nobody is that nice.
I mean, we said that about literally every male character in this show, which I also love. Like, Oren had another great moment there of, like, of course they hid it in a convent. Men can't go in there, and all the conquistadors were men. It's like, yeah, that obviously makes sense for a secret society of women to hide this thing in a women's only building. Like, that just makes sense.
Yeah, it was so much about this episode was so good. This episode also reminded me of a thing that I haven't thought about in far too long. And it's just how much I hate cryptocurrency. I totally forgot that Billy's like a whole backstory was like she owned like a massive crypto company.
Which we don't even get context for that. It's just like, all right, we're making National Treasure in 2023. What do we have to include? Crypto!
We just needed a reason for her to be rich. I'm like, this is not how any of this shit works.
No, and especially like the live-in nurse it's like, okay, I'm going to transfer your money. All right, do you accept this whatever amount of Bitcoin transfer from this person? It's not as simple as pop-up says yes or no, and you say no.
Dude, this character this character's been the most melodramatic character of the entire show, and it's kind of hilarious.
That's just the way to describe this whole series. It's melodramatic, and it has been from the get-go. We knew what we were getting, and we've had a good time with it, but it's not good television. It's popcorn television.
Oh yeah. I mean, let's talk about like that whole storyline there, like specifically with this scene of Liam coming back to the bar, of one of the worst delivered lines I have seen of, I will give you $1,000 for a song.
$1,000 for one song. Cash. Like, come on.
It was so bad, but so good.
No, what's worse, earlier in the episode when Liam is discovering that the clue room has been ransacked, and for whatever reason picks up a single headphone, and the only thing he can say is Jess. Like, what?
Look,
No.
the only reason I give that any amount of credit is because it was a pink AirPod, and they were using those together earlier in the show.
I'm just surprised they got away with that because, like,
look, in a show as ridiculous as
you don't usually
this,
see focus on bootleg rip-off AirPods.
no, those
Or,
aren't
you know,
bootleg.
Apple
Those are
products.
actual AirPods.
They don't make pink AirPods.
I thought they did.
No, AirPods are all that Apple white.
I could have sworn that Apple had started making different colors.
They do it for the HomePods. They don't do it for AirPods, as far as I know.
I'm looking this up. This doesn't feel right.
No, it 100%. It's true. Apple does not make. So the AirPods Max, their over-ear headphones, come in different colors, but the AirPods themselves don't.
Huh, that's kind of surprising. Honestly, I feel like that'd be like a super easy customization.
See, I feel like that's like, I feel like that's early 2000s Apple, where they made the iPod Touch and iPod Nano and all that stuff in like 17 different colors. And I know I'm dating myself here, and Griffin probably has no idea what I'm talking about. Back in the day, Griffin, we had to have a standalone device for listening to music. It wasn't just built into your phone.
Up yours, I had a bright lime green iPod Nano.
I know. I'm leaning into the bit that you were a child.
I'm
and
young.
the
I'm not
user on the
that
show.
young. I'm still old compared to some people. My little brother and his friends love to remind me. Seriously,
It only gets worse once you start going gray.
they're really mean.
And then you neglect to get a haircut for a year, and you have to start wearing headbands like me.
Although I like the long hair, so
I do too, which is why I'm trying to let it grow out. I keep getting told I should get haircuts. If those continue to frequently be told to me by my wife, then I will probably have to obey.
see what I do is I go get haircuts, but I just have them like clean it up and trim it up so it doesn't get too shaggy. It's just
That's
the
what
right
I'm
level of
thinking
shaggy.
that's what I'm thinking this time around, just to see it if I can grow. Because like during the pandemic, I mean, this is a total tangent, and I don't know why we're getting into this conversation. Everyone
We
grew out their
talked
hair,
about sports
right?
for the first 5 minutes of the last episode, so
Yeah, that's true. Everyone fell off as soon as we started talking about college football. During the pandemic, you know, everything was shut down, so I didn't get a haircut for like 18 months or something like that, or at least 12 months. And I kind of liked the longer hair look, and also the beard. The beard helps a lot. I'm sorry, Griffin, but the beard does help.
look, I can't grow a beard to save my life, and I
Yeah, and then I
hate
cut it, and I
facial
kind
hair.
of I cut my hair. I kind of regretted it. So now I'm just like, you know, 2023 might be the year of long hair Mitch. We'll see.
Yeah, long hair is where it's at, honestly. But now bringing it back around. I think there was a lot of like really great moments this episode. Like, I think the low point was probably the Liam stuff. The FBI stuff was kind of right there for me as well.
See, the FBI stuff reminded me a lot of the FBI stuff in the movies of just you're yelling at your screen. You people are dumb. Get
Dude,
it right.
This
And
guy
they
is going to
can't.
go down as like the single worst member of the FBI ever.
There's a reason he's the head of the New Orleans division, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Like, it's funny to me of like they set up this character to be like, oh yeah, I was the one who didn't take the call and screwed that up. Now I'm gonna screw it up again.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, be like, well, I'm glad you. I can already see that last episode when they arrest Billy for the murder of Peter Sandusky. Of like, I'm glad you followed your gut, and I'm disappointed in myself for not seeing it sooner and not believing in your, police person intuition. And I should have, or law per. I don't. How do you refer to a federal agent?
I like saying lawman because it sounds like we're in an Old West movie.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother truckers. It will go that way eventually, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting to a point where I can telegraph when specific things are going to happen and by whom they will be done. Like, this next episode will be a prison break, but it'll also involve Liam going and becoming like a double agent and working with the the live-in nurse to like work with Billy, but to do that only to try and stop Billy or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
by the
gonna
end of the
be
next
weird.
episode, they will all be together in one big group, finding the last spot for the treasure. They'll find the treasure about halfway through the finale, at which point, as they're leaving, the FBI agent will be there or some shit. I'm assuming that the treasure is going to be in Mexico, though.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was like under. I don't know. I
Or
could
maybe
still-
Billy's how they get back into the U.S.
Honestly, I think they get back in the U.S. by Jess turning herself in at the border and getting extradited. She
So do
mentioned
I.
that in this episode, and I think that's how they get.
That is
across,
what we
but
predicted last week.
It is, yeah. And the other thing is, when they inevitably do break her dad out of prison, it is going to be like he's going to know where the treasure is because he'll know how to read the map. And then they'll go to the treasure, which will be in Mexico, and then it'll be a whole thing. And we'll see what happens, honestly. Like, I'm in for the spectacle of it. None of it remotely makes any logical sense when you think, more than 3 seconds about any given plot point in the show.
Yeah, it is. I mean, National Treasure's always been that way, right? Of you can't think too hard.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, I got distracted. We got another
As you
big
should.
comment on the Strange World stuff.
Oh, okay. You screenshot this one.
I'm
before you
screenshotting
delete
this
it.
one. Actually, I might just leave this one up. It's not too bad.
I'm gonna go check it out.
No,
while you
I
continue.
think what's really I'm finding fun about this show is like, yeah, it's super telegraphed. It's super obvious what's there and what's going to be happening. But it comes down to like that scene with Oren of there is so much heart to it. It's what made that at least the first one. I haven't watched National Treasure 2 in forever. But it's what made that first one so special, right? Is like these characters have so much heart to them. And seeing the ways they cares about each other, like I keep going back to that Oren scene, but the way that Tasha, I think that's her name, says,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's right,
Tasha's-
Tasha. But the way Tasha's like, oh my God, you've been listening to me. Like, this totally came out of left field. Was really sweet. Or like when Ethan and Jess have that conversation of like, I've got something to tell you. I have something to tell you. Like, they have these wonderful moments. And then that moment in the prison with her dad of like him realizing it's her when he sees the necklace, sees her looking exactly like her mom did in the video that they dug up, by the way. Just such great moments, such awesome character scenes. Like, I love watching this so much.
Yeah, I mean, it tugs at your heartstrings, right? And it's like they're touching moments. It's characters we've been growing to enjoy, following over the last month and a half. And I'm hopeful that we'll get more of this, but there's no guarantees of anything, honestly, especially in this day and age of you look at Netflix canceling every good thing they make because it's not as marketable, it's not as, big budget, big name, brand recognition,
I'm
synergies,
quietly
all
hoping
this
that
stuff.
literally anybody will save Inside Job or Dead End Paranormal Park. It's not happening, but I have hope.
I haven't seen either of them, so I blame myself for this.
You gotta watch both. This is a shout out to everybody. Watch Dead End Paranormal Park.
Okay.
It is secretly amazing.
See, I am to the point though where I want to just cancel Netflix entirely, and that's not a shot at Netflix. I know we're here hosting a Disney Plus podcast. Us versus them.
No, we were just
HBO
talking the
Max.
other episode about how much
Disney
we liked
Plus.
Wednesday. So
Well, that's exactly it, right? Like, there's things that I enjoy there, but their business practices, the way that they're going to be cutting off account sharing, which I will admit that it is something that we use within our family dynamic one person pays for the services, we have family sharing set up, and we split the cost.
So yeah, we
Because
use the same thing.
who in their right mind is paying $20 a month for Netflix for one person? That's a psychopath.
Yeah, like my parents
What
have
are
it, and then I use the family account. My little brother who lives in Texas uses the same account. Like,
Yeah, That's just the way it's done.
That's how Netflix operates.
And
Netflix is going to lose a ton of money when this happens. It gets rolled out.
we're going to cancel ours, honestly. And it's going to be a shame because there are things that I enjoy watching when we go there. I turned it on yesterday. I'm like, oh, the Snake Eyes G.I. Joe movie is on Netflix in Canada. And I wanted to watch that. So yeah, I'm going to throw that on before we cancel Netflix. But it's just one of those things of like, they're continuing to make decisions that are not in the best interest of the consumer, what with the cancellation of content and moving towards just promoting and building out these, you know, the big names of Netflix, your Stranger Things and stuff like that. And we're seeing that across industries, I think, right now. And the current economic situation is partially or entirely to blame for it, of consolidating on large marketable brands and not taking like less business risk or less creative risks with the things that are being made. You look at what happened with Ubisoft earlier this week or last week, I forget when it actually happened.
Layoffs.
And I'm sorry, we're getting off topic of Disney stuff, but
No, this all comes back. It all comes back around. I promise, folks.
It will. Stick with me a moment of, you know, sticking to only the household names for what they're working on, your Assassin's Creeds and other things like that, and canceling a whole bunch of unannounced projects because they didn't feel confident enough that it would be worth the business risk to put out something that was not a household brand or something that was recognized by the mass consumer. And the mass consumer is looking to binge Marvel shows and play Madden and play Call of Duty. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is how I consume most of my television and film content, honestly, is what is the flavor of the week? What's the hot topic? What's the goss? And I watch all the big Marvel shows and the Star Wars shows and the Netflix shows, except we still have to finish Wednesday. It's one of those things of brands are what sells, and Disney is all about what brands will sell and doubling down on it. That's why we've gotten as much Star Wars as we have on Disney Plus, as much Marvel as we've gotten on Disney Plus, and probably why people aren't watching National Treasure, even though it's based on, I would call a cult classic film series. Yeah, I don't think it has any large following whatsoever, but people enjoyed those movies. But my sister, who will watch those movies 2 or 3 times a year, got bored and just isn't enjoying it because it's not quite up to what those films did in terms of the spectacle. And people show up for spectacle. Avengers Kang Dynasty or Avengers Secret Wars will break box office records again.
I mean, I think we have a great example with our trailer reacts. So like we're talking about Mando, and like obviously we're very excited for The Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah.
But that is all spectacle. We are also like at least sort of fresh by like a couple months at this point off of Andor, which is easily the best Star Wars show out there. It's
best
up there
show
for
best shows last year. Yeah.
Like, but it's not talked about as much because it's not much spectacle. Like talking with like my family who was watching it, they were bored, which I understand. Those first 3 episodes are very slow. The whole show is very slow to slowly build tension to build up to something amazing at the very end. Those aren't the kind of shows that get a lot of attention. This is one of those where it's like, it's a slow burn. It's a consistent burn, but it's very slow. Frankly, it's the kind of thing of like, I'm not on Wednesday. I get excited for certain shows. Because that's when we drop our stuff. We have a great time. That's why we record on Wednesdays. This isn't one where I'm necessarily.
It's why we try to record on Wednesdays.
Right.
We're doing good tonight, but it doesn't.
We've done good the last couple of weeks.
That's life. Yeah.
No, but like the whole point of it is like, you got to be excited for that drop. And I'm not necessarily always excited for this drop. Like, I am excited in the way of, oh, we get to talk about it again this week. But it's
not
to
hang out. That's fun.
It's not like the Marvel stuff or the Star Wars stuff where I am being West Coast, staying up till midnight to watch it the night before.
I'm so envious of you for being able to do that.
It's really nice. But I haven't done
I have done that accidentally for only a single episode of any of the Marvel Disney Plus shows. Do you know which one that is, Griffin? I feel like I've told you.
I think it was Hawkeye.
It was the finale of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. For whatever reason that night, I just could not get to sleep and just ended up staying up and watching it that night. But it is not easy to do, although East Coast is Beast Coast.
Well, so that's the thing. The last show I did where I was staying up till midnight to watch it was Miss Marvel. Yeah. And that was that thing of like, I was super excited for it. And I was excited for Andor too, but in a different way. Andor was more, you can't watch that movie in the middle of the night because you're not going to remember it because you're exhausted. More of these shows obviously need this excitement around them, and I'm just not sure how they're going to get them. Like, obviously the entertainment industry is built on risk versus reward. That's really just all the industry. But I think it's most obvious.
Capitalism.
Yeah, I think it's most obvious in entertainment. Like we've been talking about Strange World a lot, where it was high risk, possible high reward, and it didn't pay off, which is a bummer. It's a great movie, go watch it. But we're seeing...
don't listen to what the comments on the YouTube shorts say. It's a good movie, go watch it.
But what you see there is, okay, let's take the data back, let's see what we do, and we're gonna get some more samey stuff because that's typically what is safe. It's why we've had the same style of animation in Disney for the past decade.
It's why you're seeing so much consolidation in the business industry. I think Disney was at the forefront of this with their acquisitions of Lucasfilm and Marvel and Pixar over the last, 2 decades. They could see this coming and sort of anticipated it, got out ahead of it, knowing that they would then have these brands to fall back on when economic hardships hit. And I think having a platform to fall back on where you get to split less of your costs with, theater chains and distributors and advertising and all of that stuff, and you can control all that in-house, is a way to maximize revenue. Because at the end of the day, Disney, Netflix, Sony, Paramount, they're all businesses. And they want to make money and continue to make way too much money. But if they don't do that, then we lose out on the entertainment that we really enjoy and that we love. So it's one of those things of...
It's a very cruel and fucked up catch-22.
Exactly. And it's hard to wrestle with that internal conflict when you look at something like Hogwarts Legacy, a video game that's coming out shortly based on the Harry Potter franchise. And there are a lot of people that love Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling is a garbage human being, and supporting that game in any way will go to further support her as a creator and as a world builder, and it's not right.
I mean, she literally makes jokes about like, oh yeah, I'm losing a fan base. Haha, let me go look at my royalty check.
Yeah, and that's not right. And Disney is also another company that has a shady past and currently shadier business practices. We don't know what's going on behind the curtain. We don't know what the Grand Wizard of Oz is doing behind all the spectacle they put out in front of us, because that isn't for us, consumers to really know. It is, here's the new thing on Wednesday or Friday, depending on if it's film or television, or if it's, Disney Plus original or something being, released there like Black Panther in a couple of weeks. And you'll just take it and enjoy it. And unfortunately, that just is the way the world works, at least currently, unless we go through some sort of, democratic revolution or global economic. Yeah, I don't know. We're getting way too philosophical.
we got really deep really fast.
About finding they found the blue box, and now they're going to break a dude out of prison.
Only National Treasure can get us off on these tangents.
I mean, just anything related to the current global economic situation will probably get us on these conversations. And if you do expect more of this over time, so if you did stick with us through this, I appreciate you, because I love having a soapbox to sort of just vent all of my insecurities and frustrations.
To our credit, we did a pretty good job of sticking with the show for the first at least 20 minutes.
That's a win, honestly.
We did good. I'd call that a win. No, it's the fact that
another thing dropping on Disney. Look, another thing drops on Disney Plus next week that I'm not going to watch, which is a behind-the-scene documentary on Willow, of which I have seen none.
We really need to watch that.
I don't, though. I don't have any interest in it. I love that I brought back this cult classic favorite of people and made a series out of it. Nobody is talking about Willow. Nobody is talking about National Treasure. But you can guarantee that when Mando drops on March 1st, that's all anyone is going to be talking about on the internet.
The plot twist Mando, the first episode of Mando, is just absolutely terrible, and no one talks about it.
I mean, they'll talk about how terrible it is, no matter what. Positive or negative engagement, as we would know from talking about Strange World on the internet, at the end of the day, it's engagement. It's clicks. It's going to put it in front of more people. So thank you to all of you commenters out there who are leaving those comments on the Strange World short video, TikTok, whatever, because it just means more people are seeing it. And it's literally blowing up. It is the biggest thing that either of us has probably ever produced. So
yeah, it's doing weirdly well, and thank you, haters, for that. Like, here's a reminder, folks, that when you interact with something negatively, you are helping the content. So if you hate it, don't interact with it.
No. Continue to interact with it.
Unless it's us. Unless it's us. If you hate us, yell at us. I feel like a masochist saying that. No, we gotta wrap this episode up before we say something.
Screw
really
Let's just
stupid.
keep talking about how the whole Western economy is going to collapse.
Oh, how our world's on fire and it's a capitalistic hellscape?
No. It's only on fire if you live in California.
I got news for you
Otherwise,
about
it's fake
Oregon.
news.
Oregon's also on fire during the summers. No, folks, that's all we've got for this week's episode. Obviously, we will be around talking about National Treasure next week and the week after for the finale. After that, we are going to be switching.
No, we have 3 more, don't we? Isn't it 10 episodes or is it 9?
I thought it was 9.
I thought it was 10.
I really thought it was 9. Either way, we're
I'm gonna double check.
We're seeing this one through to the end.
IMDb says 10.
Then 10 it is. For the next few episodes. We will get through all of that. We'll have a good time. We're talking about that. We are going to be talking about other shows on the main one. We'll do one big episode for Bad Batch. And our next weekly series will be The Mandalorian Season 3. Like we said, obviously, we're going to talk about it. It's going to do numbers because it's going to be super popular. Yeah, go check out our other shows. That's why we need you to
keep negatively engaging with all of our videos before it comes out. So when it does drop, people will see it.
I just want you all to yell at Mitch.
I'm used to it. It's fine.
No, come check out our other stuff, though. We do have an episode up about Strange World. We have in Trailer Reacts to the Mandalorian Season 3 trailer. We've got a ton of shorts up on YouTube Shorts and TikTok. It's all there. Links in the description. Links in the bio on everywhere. Mitch, if you want to keep up with us, where can people find us?
Find us on the internet at D+Us, on your TikToks, your Instagrams, eventually maybe. All those lovely YouTube Shorts, the YouTube videos are doing great. Podcast services of choice, D+Us should find us wherever you want to find it. A 5-star review. Let us know what we're doing well, what we're not doing well, what you'd like to see changed about the content. We want to make this for you, and we want to make this something that we can be proud of, and we can't do that without your help. So thank you for those who have given us constructive criticism, who have left those comments, who have left those reviews. All of that engagement does help get people to see it because we just love hanging out and talking Disney stuff, and you continuing to engage with it just gives us another reason to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Also, Griffin at Griffy D-Pad everywhere at Mr. Mitch George.
Yeah, we don't matter. It's really just the show. No, seriously, folks, thank you for hanging around. It is our pleasure to be doing this every week, and it really is a joy. We do this fully out of love. Please keep sticking around because we do love having you here, but we do have to go. So we will see you next time, but until then, have a magical day.